Let's get right to it. Your brain is lying to you. Every single day, it's telling you a story about your past that feels completely true, but it's silently costing you money, status, and your peace of mind. Today, we're going to expose that lie. You know that feeling, right? A project at work totally tanks. A stock you just sold suddenly skyrockets. A relationship ends. And what's that little voice in your head that chimes in? It confidently says, I saw this coming. It feels like wisdom, doesn't it? But here's the thing, it's not foresight. It's a mirage. So let me give you the hard truth here. That feeling, it's not some special insight. It's a cognitive glitch, a bug in your brain's software designed to protect your ego. It's called hindsight bias. And this illusion, this false belief that the past was predictable, is actively sabotaging your ability to navigate the future. So where does this cognitive glitch do the most damage? Well, it hits the three areas that matter most: your wallet, your career, and your personal life. Let's break down the real-world cost. Okay, let's start with your finances. After a market crashes, what happens? The media creates this perfectly neat story explaining why it was inevitable, and your brain just eats that up. It latches on, filtering your memory to make all the warning signs seem glaringly obvious. This creates a really dangerous overconfidence, tricking you into believing you can easily predict the next crash. Now, let's talk about your career. Say you join a really promising startup, and it fails. In hindsight, you tell yourself, the failure was so obvious. This isn't just regret, though. It's a cognitive distortion that leads to you blaming yourself unfairly, which erodes your confidence and makes you way too cautious about your next big move. And yet, it gets personal, too. After a breakup, it is so easy to create a story where every minor argument was this giant red flag. Hindsight bias literally rewrites your memories, causing you to judge your past self and maybe even your ex-partner unfairly. And this erodes the trust you have in your own judgment, which can poison future relationships. So you can see the direct line here between the lie and the cost. Notice how in every single scenario, that comforting little lie of "I knew it all along" leads to a specific damaging outcome. It stops you from learning, it destroys your confidence, and it poisons your trust. That is a very high price to pay just for the feeling of being right. So how exactly does our brain pull off this little mental heist? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the mechanics behind this whole "knew it all along" phenomenon. So here's the clinical definition. It's our tendency to see events as being way more predictable than they actually were before they happened. It's like, once you know the ending of a movie, your brain can't help but see the path leading there as this straight, obvious line. It happens in three really sneaky steps. First, your brain becomes a biased historian, just cherry-picking the data that fits the outcome it already knows. Second, it weaves that data into a clean little story that makes the outcome seem totally inevitable. And third, and this is the most dangerous step, you mistake the ease of explaining the past for a genuine ability to predict the future. But why is our brain even wired for this delusion in the first place? Well, it's a shortcut. Our minds crave order and predictability in a chaotic world. Hindsight bias gives us a false sense of control, but that feeling comes with some serious side effects. This bias creates a whole domino effect of bad thinking. When you believe a negative outcome was obvious, you don't learn the real, complex lessons. Instead of a constructive postmortem at work, you just get blame and finger-pointing. You start seeing past events as proof of your existing biases, which just reinforces stereotypes. And all of this culminates in a dangerous, unearned confidence in your own judgment. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. Now for the good news. You're not helpless. There are concrete, actionable tactics you can use to fight back against this bias and get some clarity back into your decision-making. And here are 4 really powerful tactics. 1, keep a decision journal. Write down why you're making a choice before you know how it turns out. This locks in your original thinking. 2, think in probabilities, not certainties. Instead of "this will work," say something like "I believe there's a 70% chance." This forces you to acknowledge uncertainty. 3, run a pre-mortem. Imagine your project has already failed miserably and work backward to figure out why. It's incredible for surfacing hidden risks. And 4, and this is so crucial, judge your process, not the outcome. A great process can lead to a bad result just through bad luck. Focus on what you can control, the quality of your decision-making. So I'm going to leave you with this question. You trust your memory. We all do. You feel like it's a perfect recording of the past. But what if it isn't? What if your memory is less like a camera and more like a storyteller,
constantly rewriting the past to make the present feel inevitable? The answer to that just might change how you see yourself and every decision you've ever made.